Hey there, everyone. Ahmad, a monster performance by him last night. Amrabat showing exactly what we have been missing in midfield. Bruno returning and doing what Bruno Fernandes does. A good performance. Our last performance at Old Trafford for the season, and a good way to end the season at Old Trafford with a win and a good performance. I was quite impressed last night by the way we played, and I was quite also impressed by the fact that Ten Hag changed the team, that he changed tactics in order for us to have a good foundation to go on to build and win the game, which we did. And we did go in the lead, deservedly so, due to excellent play, with the ball. And a lot of people are saying that we don't have a style of play. But if you watch the goal that Mainu scores and you watch the build up of that, before the ball even gets to Ahmad, who eventually creates the chance for Mainu, we played excellent football, something that Ten Hag wants to have at Manchester United every single game. The way Ahmad got the ball, the way he drove at the Newcastle defense, quickly cut inside and played a excellent ball in between the lines to Bruno, who I'm not too sure whether he touched it or dummied it. Either way, it found itself to Mainu, acres of space in the box, and showed composure with a calm finish. Another player who we have absolutely raved about because of his quality and his absolutely dead calmness that he has with and without the ball. An excellent goal to open up the game, and deservedly so, because we were good in possession. And defensively, yes, there were a bit of mistakes, Casemiro not being an excellent out and out centre back, but here and there causing a bit of a mistake. But Amrabat doing what a defensive midfielder should be doing, what we saw Casemiro do last season, and of course with his time at Real Madrid. Amrabat definitely made crucial tackles in defense, crucial, you know, shots, that needed to be blocked. And he showed, likewise with Ahmad, what we have been missing all season. What if they played earlier on in the season together? We wouldn't probably have seen a Casemiro, in the starting 11 had we had the likes of Amrabat and Ahmad playing. How has Anthony played so many games and started so many games over Ahmad? And when Ahmad does come on, his game time was like limited to 5 minutes or less. And he has shown in the past two games that he's our best right winger. We lost Sancho. There is probably no return for Mason Greenwood. And we know Anthony hasn't been what we expected him to be or what we thought he would be. But Ahmad has come in and has shown an absolute level of quality that we've been lacking on the right hand side for years. So him starting the game last night was a very good thing. The same goes for Amrabat. They definitely changed the way we played. We are much more assured on the ball. We are able to play in between the lines, play in tight spaces, and play, on the edge of the box, 1-2s, trying to get through. And the way Amrabat always finds himself getting the ball from the centre backs, being that third man in the defense, blocking those passes that are cut back, making those crucial tackles. That's what we've been missing. And you can't argue against the fact that Ahmad and Amrabat need to be probably starting in the final against City, because we might not beat City at ball possession with the players we have. But if Martinez is back, if a run starts in that final, if you have Amrabat and Mainu and Bruno as your midfield three, you have Ahmad doing what he does on the right hand side, whether you start Garnacho or Rashford, either or, and Hoyland up front, you have a base that can actually sit, defend, press well, and counter City and actually win the game. Because City do not like teams that counter attack them. And if you remember the time with Ole, the way we play counter attacking football, Ole had Pep Guardiola's number every single game. So knowing that, and knowing that most of our players, the likes of Rashford and Garnacho, Hoyland to a certain extent, are able to break on the counter attack, like we saw for Hoyland's goal when Martinez, blocked the shot, won the ball, played a line breaking pass forward, and we were away. Bruno gets the ball, plays it into Hoyland, and Hoyland, you know, beats a few defenders and puts it in the bottom corner. Silences his haters. 15 goals for the season now as a Manchester United player in his first season at the age of 21. And a lot of people were calling him a flop. I'll tell you another stat. Wayne Rooney, in his first season at Manchester United, when he came from Everton, he scored 14 goals. That tells you alone the levels that Rasmus Højlund can get to. If he gets service, he will score goals. Look at last night. Bruno plays him a ball and he's able to maneuver himself to find a shot and get a goal. Now imagine if he continually gets service. He could easily double that for next season and score that continuously and consistently if he gets the service. And Ten Hag after the game spoke, rallying the team and rallying the fans for the FA Cup final, and there was a positive response towards him. A bit of booze from the Newcastle fans, as expected, the dirty lot that they are. But Ten Hag doesn't sound like a man that is going to be sacked. He doesn't sound like a coach that is going to be leaving at the end of the season. Sorry, he definitely does show a bit of confidence, a bit of a cheeky smile, at the final whistle as well, shows that he's going to be here to stay for next season. He's going to be part of the plans in the upcoming transfer window. And it will be interesting to see, one, the players that we do go for, and two, the speed at which our transfers happen. Because we do have a new transfer team in place. There is a different backroom structure. Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox already in place. Dan Ashworth potentially still to come, and we're hoping that it does happen sooner rather than later. And of course, Eric Ten Hag, Jean-Claude Blanc has his contact. So it is going to be interesting in the transfer window at the end of the season. And of course, pre-season for next season after the Euros, exactly to see how we are going to be and what our strategy will be going forward. But the game last night was a good performance. And you can definitely point to a few players who should have been performing this way throughout the entire season. But injuries, having them play in different positions does affect the team. Having different combinations doesn't allow for certain patterns to take place, for certain relationships to be have and built between players in order for them to know where he's going to run, where he's going to want to receive the ball, what side he wants to receive the ball, does he want to get it going in behind, does he want it to his feet, etc., etc. These are things that are crucial but cannot be done and trained or practiced if players are injured. And it's a bit of everything. Now that players have returned, the likes of Rashford back, Martin is back, we're still hoping to get Shaw back before the final perhaps. But it is very good to see that Ten Hag will and can change his tactics. We played with no striker, a false nine, and it completely bamboozled Newcastle and Eddie Howe. And that is why we were able to play such good football. Maybe it's because we played without a target man. But Højlund needed to be rested. He's been playing all season and even had an injury period throughout the season, and it is his first season and he's quite young. So it would have been better if he had a senior striker, putting himself come on in the second half, and of course, having to learn from that out and out top striker like a Harry Kane, etc., if we did get him. But last night showed that there is a foundation to build on. There is players like Garnacho, Maino, Højlund, Ahmad, Bruno, of course, Martinez, Onana, Delo. There are players that can and will be part of the new Manchester United going forward. Because if we do replace them with quality players, we know Varane is leaving at the end of the season. So if he is replaced with a centre-back that is, playing for his national team and is a quality centre-back, like a Todibo, like a Lenny Yoro, like a Antonio Silva from Benfica, etc., then we definitely can move forward and progress even more. And if these players can stay fit, then Ten Hag can actually start implementing what he wanted to implement and have a proper structure within the team. But it can't be done if there's constant changes to our defense, constant changes to our midfield, and constant changes to the attack. But right now, for the final, you could probably put the team already out. You probably might have Onana. Of course, you will have Martinez if he's fit enough to start, which I think he will be. You have Varane there if he's also fit enough to start. Wan-Bissaka on the right back. And if Shaw isn't back, it you start the low left back. That's your back five. In midfield, it has to be Amrabat with Mainu and Bruno. I know McTominay's got the energy, but Amrabat showed why he should be starting. And he's very, very crucial in how we keep the ball and how we are defensively, because when we are being countered, he is the one player that closes down the space, puts pressure on the man with the ball, and he's blocking shots, and he's just doing that engine work, the dirty work that we have been wanting Casemiro to do. Going forward, you probably will start and must start with Ahmad on the right-hand side. You saw his quality last night. An excellent, excellent goal. That alone in itself tells you just how good Ahmad is. A brilliant half volley. And maybe Garnacho or even Rashford on the right-hand side, depending on who you want to go with. Either or, you have a threat on the left-hand side on the counter. And of course, when we do have the ball, and of course, Wayland will start up front. He has to start up front in that game. So, one more game to go before the end of the Premier League season. Brighton away. And of course, we could lose that game. Yeah, but we are playing much better. The team is looking much stronger, especially with Ahmad and Amrabat in the team and Bruno being back, So a different mentality for Sunday, surely. And we should end the season with a win and have that momentum, 2 wins on the bounce, going into the week preparing for that FA Cup final. But I'm happy about last night's performance, quite impressed, and let's hope that we can continue that and build on that, end the season strong, and then pre-season comes, we're ready to attack the new season, and hopefully with a few key and beautiful signings. But subscribe to the channel, drop a like. I thank you guys for joining me and for watching the video thus far if you have. And of course, till we see each other again soon, Red Devils, enjoy the day. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.